Now, Disney is taking a stand against the parental rights bill just signed into law by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. And journalist Christopher Rufo has now posted videos of the meeting that executives had with employees about it, where an executive producer said everyone supported her, quote, not at all secret gay agenda. Watch.
Our leadership over there has been so welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda. I don't have to be afraid to let's have these two characters kiss. Let's in the background. I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to if you see anything queer in the show, I'm proud of them. But I just was no one would stop me.
The meeting also featured Disney's activism partner, Nadine Smith, who made this stunning claim about Governor DeSantis' agenda with the parental rights law.
When they can erase you, when they can criminalize your existence, when they can demonize who you are, the next step is to criminalize you and take your kids.
Tammy Bruce, what say you?
Well, I say plenty, but we only have an hour, right? Thank you for having me on today. It's an honor, you guys. Look, this is outrageous. Now, many in the audience may not know, and I say it only and reference it when it's relevant, but I'm a gay woman. And that is something that is relevant in some of our politics, as is clear right now. Everything you heard there is outrageous. It is untrue. It is a reflection of what I term, and others do as well, malignant narcissism, which is this effort to make everything that's in the world about you. Well, here's a newsflash for the leftism, right? This has nothing to do, by the way, with homosexuality or gays and lesbians. We've fought for years to have Americans know that we are not after their children, because we're not. And yet here you have this dynamic that sets into motion this idea that children are the focus. Now, clearly for some, it is a marginal extremist framework on the left. It has nothing to do with gay civil rights. And if you are a parent and a family or just a regular person who's outraged, you are not a homophobe. As a matter of fact, American lives, the lives of gay Americans, are fabulous because of the American sensibility, because we are Americans first. And this kind of argument, this kind of thing moved out under the guise of gay rights or trans rights is the homophobia, because it places us in a context that we are sexualizing children, that we want children to be sexualized. And here's another newsflash. There are no gay or straight children, and that's going to cause a controversy. But there are just simply children. Gender is a concept that children don't even understand or can comprehend. They certainly are not thinking sexually. This is the narcissism of projecting our adult issues onto kids. Now, that's happening sometimes in general, and that has to stop. But for a corporation like Disney, which we have entrusted our families and our children to when it comes to American culture, it is outrageous. It is only a few people, and others in charge have been made afraid and terrified at what that marginalized extremist group will do. It has nothing to do with tolerance or gay rights, and it has everything to do with molding children within the view of these marginalized extremists. And I'm telling you, I know lots of gay people. I know plenty of transgender people. No one likes what's going on here. No one in this country, no one on the left or the right. This is not normal, and it's unacceptable, and everyone should reject it for the sake not only of your children, but also for the civil rights gains that gays and lesbians have made in this country.
Great points. Wow.
Tammy, it seems like such significant momentum in the false narrative and that false equivalency. It comes from people's triggers and past pain from actual anti-gay historical legislation, right? Using statements like we heard in the intro, like demonizing and criminalizing. Yes. But the whole point is this parental rights bill is not that.
Right, exactly. Now, see, and this is it. It's almost like a fake hate crime, right? There is a desire and a need for victimhood, because that is what the agenda builds on. And it has been true. There is racism in this country. There is sexism and there is homophobia. But when you have a political base that relies on identity politics, it relies on the need to fight against something as opposed to elevating people. So when you have that, it creates, the fake hate crimes, the nature of, let's say, Jussie Smollett and what he thought he'd be elevated for. And this is what generates, having come from the left, that is what generates the passion. And we can move above that, certainly beyond it, while still dealing with certainly some of the bigotry that exists in this country. But when you make things up, like with the Florida bill, every parent, whether you be gay or straight, have an interest in your children learning the basics in school, and then it's up to you to be able to teach them about sexuality. And when you do that, that is a basic civil right for every parent, no matter who they are.
Charles, you are an incredible father, and Tammy referenced that this is a corporation, right? And Stephen Miller put this out earlier that even Josh Barrow is out here sounding alarms on this. He says, Dems and media think shaming corporations into their pet orthodoxy will win the issue, except consumers of these companies vote too. And it's backfiring. You don't win voters over with Twitter mobs, and you can't force parents into a box when it comes to their children. Charles.
It gets back to what Tammy was saying. By the way, amazing comments, Tammy. I could have listened to you for the entire hour. The power that this group holds and wields, and not even necessarily reflective of any particular special interest, just their own agenda, their own individual agendas. I have 3 kids, a son, a daughter, a stepson, and I also have 5 grandkids. My oldest is in the 3rd grade. Anyone who's on Twitter knows how much I love her, and I post her pictures all the time. And, we were just at rock climbing on Sunday, and we were talking about her going into the 4th grade. And it breaks my heart to think that it could ever be possible that an adult, teacher or anybody else outside of her family, particularly outside of her mom, would have any kind of conversations with her about sexuality at this age. I mean, that is something that I would blow my top. I would lose my mind. I could not believe that anyone thinks that this is an issue worth fighting over. It's called parental rights. When we start to supersede the rights of parents in this country for anyone else's rights, we're going completely against the ethos of this country and the reason we became the preeminent country in the world, because of what we base our beliefs on, including freedoms that we all have and that we all should cherish. But I got to tell you, this is absolutely nuts, and it's unfortunate that Disney can't figure it out. They seem to be bending in one way or the other. The old CEO won't talk to the new CEO and all that kind of stuff. Take a stand. Again, you're right, Emily. We do entrust our children to this company.
That's right. And Harris, that's the thing. Disney has an incredible power of persuasion and influence, but so too do parents.
Well, there's a lot to say about parenting. And when you are parenting, yes, that is true. But if you leave other people to do it for you, anything can happen. I'm not that arbitrary. So this is a true wake-up call to parents that they can't trust the things that they used to be able to trust. There's no way that I now, thinking back on my kids when they were younger, would have let them go to Disney without me being present. I would volunteer now automatically to be a chaperone. My husband loves to do this sort of thing, so do I. Other parents do it too. Now, we took our kids to Disney World, but there were always those invitations of, well, we're taking a group and there'll be, the church group, the parents. Well, if that's the environment, I think I want to experience it with my child for certain. Malignant narcissism that Tammy brought up, to me, is the phrase of the day with this conversation. So, Tammy, I want to get back to something that you said, because it is the malignant narcissism, not of a group of people on that call, but as individuals. For instance, I, as a Black person, don't speak for all Black people. How could the queer person on that panel, that leadership panel, speak for all people? Yet they have been told, she said she was going to queer, I'm using her words,
yeah.
I want to queer up the parades and the shows and everything else. Why does she get to decide alone to do that? That sounds like a personal yearning and hunger of victimhood from her perspective, right?
That's right.
And
That's
I could
right.
have my own, but I can't put that off on every other Black person on the planet.
Right.
Does she get to put that off on every other queer person on the planet? And if that's the leadership of Disney, how do they look at me or my child when we show up? That's why I think those bastions of places where we thought our kids were safe in terms of messaging, safe because there are just certain things that kids aren't ready to register with yet. Charles put it beautifully. It's the LGBTQ plus community. Beautiful. Tammy, you know, I love you. And at the same time, you and I have transparent conversations about diversity. Diversity of thought is the most beautiful part that we have in America. That's the 37,000 feet.
That's right.
The rest of this is all down here. But malignant narcissism means that we have put so much power into the individual victimhood that there's no room for anything else.
Kaylee, in this conversation, we've talked about American sensibility, as Tammy brought up. Charles brought up the American freedoms and things that really make us great. And representative of the country in one regard is this administration, is our leadership, our current government. And this administration has said that they are going to, quote, monitor the parental rights bill to, quote, ensure that no civil rights are violated.
Wow, sounds a lot like the FBI going after parents, which we know that they've already tried to do. That is the broad perspective of what is happening here. This is not about one bill that Ron DeSantis signed into law. This is about elevating corporations, teachers' unions, big government above the parent. It's about their right is the way, not your viewpoint is the way. And it didn't work. It won't work. Didn't work in Virginia. We saw as they started talking about critical race theory and McAuliffe said parents don't have any role in their child's education, what happened? Education shot up above jobs, above the economy, above inflation. And who else shot up? The Republican gubernatorial candidate who took a 1-point lead on education, which does not happen for Republicans. Keep doing what you're doing, leftists. Please do. Politico said if Virginia went the way of Republicans, it could be a playbook for the nation. Indeed it is, and you're playing into it right now, because Ron DeSantis right now, ahead of Charlie Crist by 16 points, ahead of Nikki Fried by 27 points. You want to put a tailwind behind Ron DeSantis? Keep it up, Disney.
And you know what? That was after Virginia had codified having the school board be responsible for school decisions, not parents. And that's when the vote swung. So we might see that in Florida now. Certainly a wave ahead.